Welcome back, trainers. So we have some pretty exciting information in this video here. We're going to be going over Ralts's Community Day move that is going to be going into Gardevoir and Gallade. That move is going to be Synchronoise, but we do have the stats, and we're going to be going over how good that actually is, as well as a new event coming in a couple of days, the gift event, which is going to be pretty interesting. I'm really happy about this. Honestly, they should make it a permanent feature in which you're going to be able to possibly find yourself a shiny Bonsly. And then, of course, we have the shiny Sudowoodo image here as well. So this is pretty exciting. And with that said, trainers, let's go ahead and get into the gift event. And then we're going to go ahead and talk about Synchronoise, the Ralts Community Day move. All right, so we are in the Pokemon Go app. And if you want to see all of the event news, all you have to do is go to news. And then here we are here. So this gift event is going to be going down Monday, August 5th at 1 p.m. PDT until August 19th, 1 p.m. PDT. That's a good amount of time, and you're going to like these features, guys, because this is a very interesting one. And like I said, I feel like they should make this a permanent feature regarding how many gifts we can hold as well as open up. Not necessarily the 2 kilometer or at least the 5 kilometer eggs becoming 2 kilometer eggs. Features: all eggs received from gifts during the event will require only 2 kilometers to hatch and look like 2 kilometer eggs. But don't worry, trainers. The Pokemon that hatch from these eggs will be ones that normally appear in 7 kilometer eggs, regardless of whether you incubate them or hatch them during or after the event. So if you get a bunch of these eggs during the event and say the 19th rolls around and you're not somebody who buys a bunch of incubators and you're still holding on to these 2 kilometer eggs that did come out of a gift, and you do incubate them after the event has ended, the special event Pokemon will still be coming out of those. Technically, it's just the 7 kilometer Pokemon in there. It's just going to be a shorter distance with that different color looking egg. For the duration of the event, the number of gifts you can open daily will increase to 30. Are you kidding me? That's fantastic. I think that should be a feature all the time. We should be able to open up 30 gifts every day. I mean, 10 is a little low, but that's just me. We're going to be able to get a lot more lucky friends this way. So maybe you want to split it off if you're trying to increase your friendship with some other people that are not quite high on your list. Maybe do 15 of those, and then possibly if you have 15 best friends at this point. I know a lot of us have quite a few, but if you're one of the people who doesn't have too many, open up maybe 15 of your best friends to try to get possibly lucky friends there. So this is a great way to do that as well. For the duration of the event, the number of gifts you can carry in your inventory will increase to 20. So currently right now we can only hold on to 10. So this is going to be bumped up an extra 10 in your inventory. Now I have a little tip here for you. When the event rolls around and it's almost over on the 19th at 1 p.m. PDT, I urge you to possibly hold on to 20 and just stockpile them, basically. I'm not too sure if it's going to decrease to 10 right after the event, which would make no sense, but that's just a little tip right before it ends. Grab as many gifts as you can from Pokestops so your inventory is full with 20. If you're lucky, you may hatch a shiny Bonsly. So that's the nice little feature out of this, and those will be coming out of those gifts that you're going to be opening that will look like 2 kilometer eggs. Now let's go ahead and take a look and see exactly what are in 7 kilometer eggs that will be appearing as 2 kilometers for this event. Alrighty, so we are over here on the Silth Road. We're going to be taking a look at what we can currently get out of the 7 kilometer eggs here, and then you can go ahead and look at what we can get from the 2 kilometer, 5 kilometer, as well as the 10 kilometers too. So we're going to be focusing on those 7 kilometer eggs here, which mostly include the Alolan Pokemon with their shiny variances now. So if you've yet to hatch any of those Alolan shinies, well, this is going to be your opportunity to do so. So I'm not going to say shiny, I'm going to say non-shiny if it cannot be that. Okay, so Alolan Sandslash, Alolan Vulpix, Alolan Diglett, Alolan Meowth, Alolan Geodude, Alolan Grimer, Pichu, Cleffa, Igglybuff, Togepi, Tyrogue, which cannot be shiny, Smoochums, Elekid, Magby, Azurill, Wynot, Badoo, Chingling, which cannot be shiny, Bonsly, which will be shiny starting this event, Happiny, which cannot be shiny, Munchlax, no shiny yet, Riolu, no shiny unfortunately, and Mantike, which cannot be shiny. And then we're going to go ahead and scroll through the rest of them so you can see. Currently, out of the 5 kilometer eggs, you can get a Sneasel. So good luck on trying to get one of those shinies here. And the list for the 5 kilometer eggs is pretty massive here. As we continue on, it's still going. Plenty of shiny options, so there you have it. So we'll just go ahead and take a look at this 7-kilometer list one more time here. Looking pretty good, and I'm excited for this. I have a feeling I'm going to hatch hopefully a few of these Alolan shinies, and if I had to take a pick on which one I wanted the most shiny out of the Alolans, I'm going to say maybe the Alolan Vulpix, Meowth, all of them. Except for that, I'm not too concerned about the Diglett or the Geodude personally. The Sandslash would be neat, but hatching these baby shinies is going to be pretty top on my list, although you have no control over what you get. But any shiny that comes out of these eggs would be awesome. Why not? I still need that as well. Hatched my shiny Azurill, which is pretty nice. I haven't done anything with it because I already have a powered up Azumarill, and it's quite costly to almost max it out, as well as purchasing that secondary move. Still need a shiny Magby, a Light Kid. Let's see, have Togepi. Hatched quite a few shiny Badoos. I think like maybe 3 at this point. So I'm looking good on those. As far as the Igglybuff, I've never hatched one of those. I did trade for one, and I actually powered it up, purchased that secondary move for the Great League. I hatched shiny Clefairs left and right. I think I'm up to 4 at this point, 4 or 5 shiny Clefairs. It's crazy. So we're looking good. So there you have the list, folks, as to what you can expect coming out of those 2-kilometer eggs that are going to be in disguise as actual 7-kilometer eggs for this event. So another tip for you as well, make sure you clean out your inventory before this event starts so you can immediately open up those gifts to receive those special 7-kilometer eggs disguised as 2-kilometer eggs and only going to take 2-kilometer distance to hatch, so you can be ready to go for possibly hatching that shiny Bonsly and or one of these Alolan shinies, as well as the babies there. All right, now let's go ahead and get into Synchronoise. That's going to be the Community Day move that Gardevoir and Gallade will be receiving coming this Community Day. Now I have all the Psychic type attackers by DPS, best DPS to worst, as well as all of their Psychic moves that they can have in combination with each other here. So it's not going to be just a single individual. That's why you see 2 Azelfs there. One has Confusion, one has Extrasensory, and both with Future Sight, as you can see here. So where is Gardevoir and Gallade going to land on this list here? Well, as you can see, there's 2 Azelfs, 2 Alakazams, which is going to push them down the list a little bit. Otherwise, you'd see both of them on this list at the same time. At the bottom, we have Gallade, but take note, Gallade and Gardevoir, as far as a pure Psychic type attacker, are going to be doing the same amount of damage because their stats are the same. So it is going to be down there at the bottom. So we have Deoxys, Mewtwo, Azelf, Alakazam, Espeon, Deoxys normal form, and then we'll skip that Mewtwo. So it's looking at like the number 7 spot for both Gardevoir and Gallade. And if we go to the next page here, there's Gardevoir right behind it with the same DPS. Now let's do a little comparison. The best Psychic type attacker, of course, is going to be Deoxys attack form, but we know how glassy that is. So let's just pretend that's not there for now. Let's just skip to Mewtwo. Best Psychic type attacker with Confusion and Psychic sitting at 16.55 DPS. So that's, it's pretty decent, right? So if we look at Gallade, it's going to be sitting at 14.789 DPS. So it's not too far behind, but Mewtwo is still going to be outpacing it. Therefore, you're better off investing in a Mewtwo as the best Psychic type attacker, or even an Azelf with Confusion and Future Sight. But here is the thing. Those are both legendaries. And as we can see, Alakazam and Espeon are both going to be outpacing it, which should be somewhat readily available to you at this point. If you're a newer player, you may not have a ton of Alakazam candies or even Espeon candies, or should I say Eevee candies. So this Community Day may be your opportunity to take advantage of having a good Psychic type team, because Gallade and both Gardevoir are not going to be horrible, but they're not going to be your top picks. And as you may know, Mewtwo and Azelf are both going to be legendary Pokemon, so it's going to be a little bit harder for you to possibly get the candies to actually power them up. And if you do not raid continuously, then rare candies will be a little bit more difficult for you to invest in and not have as much. So having these Gallade and Gardevoir as a pure Psychic type attacker might just be within your best interest, because the routes will be all over for this Community Day, in which you should possibly be pineapping as many as these routes as you possibly can when you're out there shiny hunting on this community day. So if we move on to the page 2, we see Gardevoir, of course, with Confusion and Synchronoise. Same DPS as Gallade. It's just bumped down because the page just has so many until it moves on to the next one here. But yeah, so as far as pure psychic type attackers, is it something you want to invest in? It's okay. It's a budget option. We do have that Alakazam coming up ahead of it, as well as Espeon, so you may want to try to invest in those if you're looking for the possible best DPS you can get out of your psychic type attackers. But if you have no other options, low on resources, and just simply do not have candies for those other top tier psychic type attackers come this community day, these ones are going to be a decent option to actually go with. So there you have Synchronoise. It is going to be a 2 charge bar move doing 80 damage. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the best around, but it's still a little bit of something. Now, let's go ahead and switch it up to PvP. For all my PvP battlers out there, let's see what they're going to be landing at. So we have Mewtwo with Confusion and Psychic, and then Psycho Cut and Psychic coming in that #1 spot, and then followed up by Gallade and Gardevoir. Their DPS is going to be the exact same, so take note of that. Yes, their typings are going to be a little bit different, so they're not going to be able to take specific hits from other Pokemon, as well as taking super effective damage from different moves, so take that into consideration. But as far as the DPS output for PvP, Gallade and Gardevoir are going to be looking pretty good as the pure psychic type attackers. You're going to be basically #2 if you want to rule out that Psycho Cut and Psychic Mewtwo, because who has a Mewtwo in the Great League? Nobody has a Mewtwo in the Great League. So basically Gardevoir and Gallade for the Great League, as far as a pure psychic type attacker, are going to be your #1 option. All right, trainers, and I will be bringing you more information as this does come out, and be testing it out and seeing how well they do perform. But before we go on, I must tell you this. Gallade and as far as Gardevoir goes, it's going to be better to attack those fighting type Pokemon with Dazzling Gleam. So a little tip, you may want to not evolve all of your best IV ones, possibly for PvP with that low attack and higher defense and stamina, and save them for after the community day, and even wait for that 1 hour period in which if you evolve the second stage, you're going to be able to go into that fully evolved stage with that community day move. Hold off and then evolve it after all of this is done, so you could possibly get yourself Dazzling Gleam. And before I let you guys go here, the Pokemon Go Twitter page did tweet this out, saying routes will be hatching from eggs and will be available to battle in raids. So not too sure exactly which eggs they're talking about. A lot of people are asking, well, okay, but which eggs are we going to be getting them from? Is it going to be hatching out of the 7-kilometer but 2-kilometer eggs in disguise come this gift event, or are they just going to be hatching out of 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 7 kilometers, and 10 kilometers, and it's just a bunch of mix-up? Who knows, because they weren't really specific, but I'm assuming as soon as I put this video out, they're going to get specific, and I'm going to miss that part there. So thank you for watching, trainers. If you enjoyed this video and the information, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.